2 weeks in a row from the All Blacks, the Kapau Pango, their own Haka, describing the heritage of All Black rugby, and without doubt a tip to the history of this particular contest, now 100 years old, up against the world champions, the number 2 in the world at the moment. A mark of respect again, an indication of the seriousness of this All Black team to finish this period of the year strongly.
The All Blacks certainly fired up for this one. You can tell, Justin Harrison.
Yeah, such an important part of what the All Blacks do to get ready for a test match, and it's become a part of the international arena. Not sure if my son does the action of cutting his throat, I'll give him a bit of a backhand. I'm sure some of the Springboks are ready to repay the respect with some pretty confrontational play to start this test match tonight.
That's been the message during the week. It's in our DNA. Stay physical. Play the way that we want to play. That was the message to Jacques, from Jacques Ninaba. Matthew Carley in charge tonight with the whistle.
On the whistle still, okay? On the whistle. Time on.
The crowd roars. Test match number 101 is underway between New Zealand and South Africa. And the All Blacks through one of their experienced men, Retallick. Taken for a quick carry. Weber starting today. Placing TJ Perenara, goes high and gives it to Vermeulen. Trevor Nyakane wearing the 3 this week, switching sides of the scrum, and Andre Pollard. That will be familiar tonight, no doubt. Geordie Barrett does well underneath it. That was the theme all week last weekend, and it'll be the theme again tonight. The Springboks going high, but this time they find a bit of space, the All Blacks, and find Taylor, who set up the first try in the first 2 minutes for the All Blacks last week. Barrett around the corner. Sets up for Faf de Klerk. And Faf doesn't go high, goes long this time, looking for grass. And Beauden Barrett covers it nicely.
Great first take from that man's brother, Geordie Barrett, over the far side. Lost control in the air, but held onto the ball, and the All Blacks very quick around him. They'll be certainly very quick turning in these early stages of the match.
Here we go, boys! New Zealand, use the line, please.
Springboks will want to remind themselves of the strength of their forward pack and what they do to teams. A very attritional, confrontational size. This is one of the areas they'll want to look to get early dominance over this very, very good All Black side.
Springbok forward pack speaking during the week, saying they want to impose their presence. And clean line-out win. The first, Ibn Etzebeth. There goes Mbanambi in control at the back. It's a thrashing machine of a maul, this one. Chewing off 10 metres. Inside the All Blacks half. De Klerk wants it, told to use it.
South Africa, take it out.
Introduces himself to his back line, does Faf de Klerk.
Thank you, 12.
Here's Pollard, they spin it wide. Arm, pops one over the top to Mapimpi. But a bit untidy at the breakdown. Penalty though to the Springboks.
A couple of phases moving wide, and Anton Leonard-Brown finally caught out. I think he was unsighted on that tackle. Wasn't intentional. At the same time, high, immediate penalty.
Thank you. 10.
It was a great maul to start this little passage of play, Justin Harrison.
One of the things you want to do as a player, particularly a forward pack that have got this size and this predicted physical dominance, is to remind yourself of how to achieve it, and it's doing the basics very well. Once they manufacture that ball, the back line of the Springbok team need to be careful they don't just shift pressure. They've got to probe, and put pressure and build momentum against this All Black side that are very comfortable in slide defence.
Tim Horan, this one is a fair way out, that's for sure.
Yeah, Andre Pollard doesn't miss too many, definitely within his range. And talking to a couple of the Springbok players through the week, the game plan's not going to change. There's going to be high balls. They'll very rarely go wide, but they just need to put more pressure on the All Blacks with their tactics.
And Pollard hangs this one out to the right. And the All Blacks will play on. And onto the boot it goes. No fine touch. Up towards the 10. So the score remains 0-0. Crowd is deafening here at Cbus Stadium on the Gold Coast. What an atmosphere in a neutral venue. Benumbi hits the target. De Klerk inside ball to Nkosi. Khaleesi with a strong carry and wrestled to the ground. But over the top goes Artie Severe. The two captains. Artie wins that one. Taylor leaves it behind. They have to scramble. It's there for Arm. Oh, the around the back pass into the hands of Dialendi. It's the razzle-dazzle we never expected from the Springboks, but there it is. What a try for the Bokker.
Yeah, wonderful moment from the South Africans. Who cares that it wasn't 60 metres out, it was 5 metres out. They chanced their arm. A great turnover from the All Blacks. Artie Savia working alongside tackler Akira Ioane, but as they tried desperately to spread the ball, the mistake came, an arm round the back. Great delay as well to finally put Dialende. He doesn't get mentioned too much in the last few weeks, either midfielder, but Damien Dialende right on the spot.
The around the back pass, Justin Harrison.
Well, their first movement through the back line produced a shot at goal, and now we've seen what this back line can do with some razzle-dazzle. All Blacks carrying some jet lag of inexecution from last week's game into the start of this.
Pollard hits the upright. First blood to the box. It's 5-0 to South Africa.
There was the pressure, wasn't it, defensively first from both centres from the Springboks, Damien Dialende and Lucan They were the ones that came up defensively, which forced the turnover. What a great little flick pass from And Colsey did really well to Dialende. First blood to the Springboks.
Oh, what a start. Stephen Reese comes up with that one, a shallow kickoff. The All Blacks, quick hands, lovely soft hands from Moody to Artie Severe. Barrett splits the two runners and Geordie Barrett has to tidy it up. And then shirt fronted by Subu Nkosi. The penalty goes the way of the All Blacks. And marched after Damien Dialende.
Got to get to the 10.
Had a few choice words for Matthew Carley.
Yes, frenetic, and the pace, not just in the legs, the mouths going as well. There's plenty of feeling in this. The All Blacks, another sign of respect as well. They want these 3 points. They don't mind getting up there and just getting increments of 3. Just in from the side there, Lucanio Arm. But the willingness of this Bok defence, even more energetic than normal, Goog.
Well, absolutely. This All Black side were unsettled last week by the Springboks. Some uncharacteristic handling errors, only converting one of their 4 line breaks. They'll definitely want to consolidate points every time they get an opportunity. One of the mechanisms of a successful All Black side is entering the 22 and coming away with points. A real feature in how to build momentum in a test match arena.
strikes it nicely. Points for the All Blacks. It's 5-3 after 8.5. What a start.
Been really interesting to see the All Blacks. Every time they've had a chance to shift the ball wide, they're doing it twice in their 22, once just there. A real game plan early in this match to go wide against the Springboks defence.
Barrett tidy in the air.
Down by Black, down by Black. Not down for
Webber in there digging. Not quick ball for the All Blacks. Here's Lalala. Netball Lalala.
No, back, step back.
And setting up for the box kick. With a taste of the old Springbok medicine. Vermeulen's underneath it. Well wrapped up there by Ioane. Here goes Uche. Hard man to bring down. Faf de Klerk jumps out. Here's LaRue. And Corsi with a bit of space in front of him. And he's got really good feet, but loses them at the critical moment. Over the top is Barrett. Still there for the Springboks. To Yaga. Quick ball. Pollard out the back to LaRue. LaRue. Crucial tackle made by Hafili. Try scorer Dialendi. Slow ball for de Klerk. And he rolls it back and gets ready to launch a rocket. And he does. It's coming down for Barrett. And
You've got to make an attempt to play the ball.
Some escorting there from the All Blacks, so a penalty to the Springboks inside the 22.
Instruction number 5.
Fraternal connection there. Fraternal protection as well. Scott Barrett.
You weren't clearly on the ball. You can't shift yourself when you're on the floor
Just
then to block
moving
it when
him
it's
away
available.
To protect his brother Geordie as the South Africans indicate the post again.
One of the things we're noticing early on is that Springboks' first receiver, when they get a ruck on the front foot or a dominant carry, they're happy to go through the hands and start to explore some space. That first receiver standing just that little bit wider. So whilst it may be limited ball movement, they are still achieving some width. When they lose momentum, they go to box kick and try to hope to turn it into a 50-50 situation. In this case, getting rewarded with a possible 3 points.
Couple of handling lapses. Tim, you said it was like Christchurch before, presumably not the same temperature. Any dew on the ground?
Pollard strikes this one better. It's 8 points to 3.
Just a tiny bit of dew, Mertz, 20 degrees here on the Gold Coast. But you're right, Justin, the Springboks have got more intent tonight to play. They're playing a more up-tempo game. They get quick ball, they will shift it and they'll get across the advantage line. And they look sharp.
Barrett puts this one down the centre. And Billy LaRue, mistake. It's there for the All Blacks. Scrum advantage. Severe. So hard to bring down. Gets the offload away. Barrett. Cross kick. No one there on Sevu Reece. Brilliant try from the All Blacks. Spotted the space. Reece, what a finish. But a double tap on the whistle.
Yeah.
Make sure the players don't touch the full ball's grounded.
Okay, so on-field decision to try because we've got a clear grounding. Checking touch and then double check the grounding. Okay, on-field decision is a try. We just want to check the touchline mainly, but then we'll just check the grounding just because we're on review anyway.
No worries. On-field try, checking for grounding and touch.
Yes, there's no doubt that Sevu Reece got to the try line through momentum rather than a double movement. The question will only be if Vermeulen, I think it was, managed to get his legs across the sideline.
So the player is onside?
Yep, perfect.
Great instinct from Sevu Reece to accelerate. You're never sure where those crazy feet are going to take him. Here's the tackle.
That's one motion, so it's just the touchline which looks okay, but you might want to look at the reverse.
I think his feet are in the air.
Matthew, the player's feet are in the air when he grounds the ball, you can award the try.
There's the confirmation. We're all square. What an electric start to this test match.
Well, that man, Sevu Reece, really does know where the try line is. He's on a 4-game try-scoring streak, 6 tries in total in this period. I couldn't dream about that many tries. Just the efficiency of the All Blacks in turning the pressure back onto the opposition, putting a reasonably innocuous high ball restart up, getting that consolidation inside the 22 and getting points straight away. That counter punch always so powerful.
Barrett was the match winner last week for them. This one is right on the touchline. Drills it low, hard. Is it drawing back? No. 8 points apiece.
What a player to have that can come onto the field like Sevu Reece. And George Bridge and Will Jordan last week were superb, have been for the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden then you bring Sevu Reece, just reached out and goes over. What a try for the All Blacks.
Some pinpoint accuracy from Beauden Barrett. Finds Sevu Reece, who had a lot of work to do still, and did it brilliantly.
Stay still, thank you.
Pressure on, Barrett gets the kick away. Vermeulen winding up. Oh, big run. He's a battering ram, but loses it. And here's Ioane on the counter. Had numbers out to the right. Now Webber gets it there. Again, Barrett, little chip across field for Reece. Batted back in field. Leonard Brown. Now Lala now. And that one
penalty advantage
was high. So they have the penalty advantage. Chance to roll the dice.
We're stopping there because the player's down. We'll come back for the advantage.
Rico Ioane looked out the back and then played short to Cody Taylor. We'll come back for the penalty.
Scott Barrett getting some attention on his shoulder. May well have been from that run from Vermeulen. Straight off the kickoff. So we see Nepal Aulala, the moving outhouse. Just a brick of a man. He might have had a bit of a stinger there. I suspect, Justin Harrison, you'll know more about those than I do.
A bit, but I think it's a lot more than a bit. Vermeulen running straight at Scott Barrett. It's the thing about this game, you've got to put yourself in harm's way to win those impacts. Most definitely highly volatile confrontation there that we're going to see as a real feature of this game. The Springboks most definitely wanting to tuck and run with the intent of attacking and getting over the advantage line. The All Blacks, as we know, bring so much variety to their game. It's going to be a fantastic arm wrestle tonight.
It's a great double act, Tim Horan, isn't it? Akira Ioane involved in the hit, and I think he might have stripped the ball. And next thing, Rico Ioane's setting off upfield.
Yeah, they've got so much skill, haven't they, Merch, right across the board, the All Blacks. And the Springboks defensively, they know what's coming. That was a great run from the 35-year-old Dwayne Vermeulen, and then ripped out by Akira Ioane, and then his brother takes off down the field. You're right, Mertz, but the Springboks, they know what's coming from the All Blacks. They know they're going to shift the ball in their own half. They've got so much skill and so much power, but it's how do you stop them? And tonight, the Springboks are just taking the space off the All Blacks. They're getting quicker off their defensive line and moving up and trying to take that space. Just putting that passer under a bit more pressure in the All Blacks midfield.
So after some running repairs, it'll be Barrett. 15 minutes gone. Gee, it's been a brilliant start to this test match.
On the line, please, Green, on the line.
I'd keep an eye on Scott Barrett if I was the Springboks. His left shoulder does not look comfortable.
Jacobson drags it down. Barrett takes it to the line. And Havili runs into his opposite number. Quick ball for Webber. Here's Ioane. Jacobson.
Stay, thank you, sir.
Retallick.
The tackle.
Runs into His opposite locking number, but over the top. It's one steal apiece for the two skippers.
Yes, and the All Blacks just falling foul a little bit of losing support. Part of it was down to Yaga. He managed to get himself in the tackle, in the way of the support forwards. But Khaleesi, the reaction, lethal. The execution.
Such a key ingredient of what you need to hope to match it with the All Blacks. His presence at the breakdown, attention to detail. Khaleesi, one of the best back rowers in the world, one of the best captains that this Springboks side has seen for a long time, leading by example.
Stay there, 3.
That's a bit quick off the top to de Klerk. Pollard, this one's charged down, and Barrett tidies up.
No hands!
Ioane. The pressure on the kickers on both sides has been immense in this first 17 minutes. LaRue goes to Pollard, who bounces off Havili, dragged down by Reese. Vermeulen. Well wrapped up. This time LaRue goes high. And the chase coming from Corsi falls into the hands of the Springboks. The tactics working. At the back to LaRue. Cbus running into half a hole. Gets the legs going. Here's LaRue to Pollard. They're on the front foot, the Bokker. To Yaga. Onto the 22. Nakane.
No 2!
Brody Taylor told to leave it alone. De Klerk goes to the far side, little chip over the top. Oh, nearly set up for Makazole Mapimpi. A very different looking Springboks outfit this week.
Yeah, one of the features there, some big men using some slight changes of direction to get through a half hole and turn a potentially passive run into a dominant run. Rarely losing sight of the ball every time it came in to contact. In fact, de Klerk had a clear line of sight to clear it. The only time they lost their momentum with some indecision and ball placement. But some exciting pieces of play there, Andrew.
Absolutely, he was a big part of it. Eben Etzebeth sitting down, he's still taller than most people in the stadium, even sitting on his glutes. But it is impressive, the South Africans, when they get rolling. The thing is, against the All Blacks, I think they need to score within 5 or 6 phases. They don't have a broad experience across the whole team of playing high octane. And once they get past that 5 or 6 phases, we saw it starting to happen there, they might become susceptible to a steal.
Japan v Australia, live and exclusive to Stan Sport. October 23. Looking forward to that one. Still plenty to come in the era of rugby. So, Springboks once again just slowing the game down to their tempo. It was something spoken about during the week by the All Blacks. They want to keep their high-octane style of rugby up. Picked off by the Springboks. Chance now for Mbonambi. Charging to the line. Did he get it down? Bongi Mbonambi like a battering ram.
Okay. Brett, on-field decision is no try. We believe the player is short and knocks the ball on. We'd just like to check.
No worries. So we've got an on-field no try. We're checking for grounding.
A great surge from Mbonambi. At first glance, he did seem, certainly short and knocked on, but what a great run, and he's gone through no other than Akira Ioane, who I think might have been lining up for a pretty solid hit, and just that shift to the side from Mbonambi got him through.
Okay, so he does have control. It's just a question of whether he's reached the line.
Only has to hit a blade of grass here, Justin Harrison.
To overturn the on-field decision that the ball is placed on the line.
It wouldn't have been not so long ago that he could have placed that ball against the base of the upright, but now he's obliged to get it.
Matt,
Yeah.
The player has knocked the ball on in the field of play, so it'll be a scrum to black.
Okay. No try. Knock on. Scrum. He knocked it on in the field of play because if he had reached the try line, it would have been a try.
A great run, Tim Horan, and when they're hot, aren't they? The crowd must be really responding to this Bok attack.
Oh, they're all up the northern end, Mertz, the Springbok supporters. Numbi, all he had to do was just keep going and be patient. He went too early. If the momentum would have taken him over, would have been one of the tries of the year. He can't believe it, the hooker from the Springboks. I tell you what, the atmosphere here, Cbus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast, it's incredible. Great support for both teams. The Springboks have had all the territory and a lot of possession.
Time on. Yes, please. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Oh, there's good vibes in the air on the Gold Coast
Stay onside.
as we just about tick over the first quarter of this match. Barrett,
Thank you.
big clearance. Pimpy holds onto it.
Do you get the feeling that the wingers feel like that's their sort of job, just to pretend that they're going to do something there? Because they never do. They never run forward and throw it into the forward pack, do they, Mertz?
No, but
You had to think about that for a bit there, Mertz.
Well, I don't want to sound shamelessly parochial or about the 10s, but you need a 10 back there, really. I won a few line-outs myself, only on my own throw.
Here's Umbanambi. He's on a laser sight for a throw this year in the line-out, and they set up the maul. And it shaves off and gets good momentum. Told to use it. Still there. Quagga Smith breaks off the back and then buried back over the top of the ruck. Che.
Use it!
Burke told to use it.
Play the ball 9!
He's going to make it rain. Into the 22 it goes. And through comes Mapimpi. But Sevu Reece takes the mark. Clattered by Sia Khaleesi.
Free kick.
Yeah, that's not deliberate at all. He's just taken a decent shot as he's come down, Sevu Reece. A bit unlucky. He got prawned there a little bit. A great take.
Yeah, a bit of crumb sausage from Sevu Reece certainly would hurt.
No, he's
No
got to
doubt.
play it.
Very impressive
Play your 10,
piece of
guys.
defensive
On the
effort
AR.
from the All Black forward
Evan,
pack there.
Evan,
Springboks
on the
set up a
assistant.
very good
Okay, thank
maul
you.
that they had going forward. All Blacks reloading with energy and commitment to arrive in maul defence at the right height, which is hips and below. Very good piece of defensive effort from a very powerful and well-constructed Springboks maul.
Lovely touch finder there from Sevu Reece as well.
On your front man, please.
Be a Bok throw. I've had 77% of the territory so far in this match. Really dominating that area of the game. Got the All Blacks pinned. Yaga. Hollard. Arm. Running a good line. Quick ball. Khaleesi.
Advantage 6. Offside, clearly wrong timing.
Kira Ioane
6.
didn't get it right. So they've got penalty advantage. Deal ended. Little chip in behind. Oh, and Reece can't tidy it up. Come
Offside.
back for the penalty.
You've got to get back if you get your timing wrong. Number 6.
Springboks here managing to put consistent pressure on the All Blacks defensive line by playing at a pace that makes them uncomfortable. Offside a couple of times, the ball being recycled quickly, and importantly, options on both sides of the breakdown. One of the features that we're seeing is a lot of feet in motion forward pods on one side, a full back line on the other. The All Blacks obliged to have their heads up at all times and make decisions, Andrew.
Yeah, it's just that extra metre they're looking for, isn't it? And Akira Ioane anticipating de Klerk's clearance there. It didn't come. There was a slight delay, and he fell foul of the referee on that occasion, and rightly so. But just that battle to get that extra metre.
Pollard drills this one down the middle. So the Springboks take the lead.
They look so much more comfortable tonight, the Springboks, after what happened last week in Townsville. Their structure, their patterns of play, they're more confident in where to stand, what to do. I'm not going to say the All Blacks are rattled. I don't think they are. They're patient at the moment, like they were last week, the All Blacks.
This was a tough one for Billy LaRue. Last time, this time it falls for Andre Pollard.
Thank you.
Finds some grass. Reese shifts it to Barrett.
Let him run.
Barrett looking for the torpedo bomb. Oh, that one was a UFO and it landed right on Billy LaRue's head.
No.
It's there for the All Blacks. Ioane, offload, Havili, Leonard Brown, sparkling from the All Blacks, and into the 22 they go. Moody leaves it behind.
The ball travelled forward, scrum.
It'll be a scrum to the Springboks. Ominous build-up from the All Blacks there.
What a tackle from Faf de Klerk. Anton Leonard-Brown lined him up 100%, and he stood firm. Here was the pressure on Billy LaRue. Just wobbled a bit. We saw that with Geordie Barrett early on as well, so just a bit of wobble as it comes down, and a great offload here. Rieko Ioane, Havili, the quick hands, and there he goes. Look at that, straight to ground, and the Boks were in, putting pressure on the breakdown immediately.
Interesting to contemplate that the All Blacks are actually kicking slightly more than the Springboks at the moment, using that as a tool to get in behind this very well organised Springbok defence and then accelerating through those gaps, some offloads, putting them under pressure. That wonderful broken field play that we know New Zealand are capable of. Springboks need to avoid inviting them into the match with unstructured situations.
Well, as Tim Horan said, the territory's been with South Africa and the All Blacks having to play out of their own half so often.
Set!
Klerk just biding his time. Dialendi
Let him go now! No!
running straight and hard.
Inside still.
De Klerk. Wide ball, bounce past Nkosi with some space in front of him. Quagga Smith in support. Ox and Shea stopped in his tracks. De Klerk
9.
lights the candle. And again, the pressure. It pays off for the Boks. The kick chase is brilliant. Advantage over. Billy LaRue looking in behind, looking for the 50-22. Is it a 50-22? Or was he just inside the 50?
Well, it's got to be worth a look. He was very close. Well, too late now.
Play on indeed. Barrett thumps it downtown. LaRue has to hair back into the 22. Oh, this time LaRue puts it out. Not his best, so net gain for the All Blacks.
Time off, please. Come here. No, time off. Come here. Stop talking. Stop. If I see you chasing my touch judge up the line again, you'll be off.
There you
It
go.
was taken in, so it wasn't a 50-22. Step up. Wait,
Laying down the law.
Step out. Time is still off.
Rowan Hoffman there, the fifth official, having words
Time's still off, guys.
with the water boy.
Set the space, please. Okay.
Well, he may well be pleading to have a look at the 50-22 from Billy LaRue. It astounds me how rarely we're seeing that yet. It's only 28 metres in a straight line, maybe a little bit more on the angle.
Deep throw for the All Blacks. Webber. Barrett using beautiful feet, stays on his feet and finds Ioane. Ioane stays on his feet. Oh, brilliant! Simply superb. You can't find the words to describe how good it is from the All Blacks.
A superb example of what the All Blacks are capable of doing. The run from Barrett, the brilliance of Barrett, and stayed on his feet. He gets knocked off balance there a little bit, Vermeulen. He's got the support. Ioane was so quick up. He manages to stay on his feet. The support's there from Ardie Savea. Mr. Everywhere, man. And over he goes.
Fantastic example of the speed at which the All Blacks enter into and exit out of contact situations. All of their leg speed when it's around the ball is a blur. Bodies in motion, quick line-outs, quick throw-ins. They change the tempo of the game. They need to marry that with the execution that they're putting on the field now. The Springboks will need to be careful.
Barrett adds the extras. Just superb, Tim Horan.
Oh, what a line from Beauden Barrett. He came inside shoulder of Handré Pollard. Handré Pollard doesn't miss too many tackles, but it's the support line of Rieko Ioane. They always anticipate players inside them making the break, so you get through the defensive line to make sure you're there in support. What a try right in front of a big crowd here in the northern end of All Black supporters.
Scott Barrett sets off from his lifters. Here's Retallick. Settling play down. The Springboks, in fact, really trying to unsettle the All Blacks. And the big torpedo from Barrett down to LaRue. And LaRue puts up another high ball. And the contest in the air is fair. It's play on. Springboks can't find the hands, though. And LaRue leaves it behind. Now the penalty.
Holding on.
Compounded for the Springboks.
Back by Green.
Gee, I feel sorry for Luta Yaga there as Beauden Barrett goes for touch quickly and gets good distance. But, you know, the first knock on from Handré Pollard, a bit unlucky that Diaga's on the ground there, plays at the ball. It's a natural reflex. But, you know, technically, of course, correct. And now the All Blacks surge back onto attack.
You just feel the tempo lifting in this one. And the All Blacks starting to dictate that pace.
Absolutely. Every time they've got a chance to speed up the game, they are taking it.
Taylor. Just waiting for the call. Finds Barrett at the front. Severe. Breaks off. Oh, bounces off the tackle of Khaleesi. Those two having a titanic battle. Here's Jacobson.
Ball is out, play on.
Webber has to rush it. Been battered backwards, and Barrett, he's got Vaseline on his legs at the moment. They can't tackle him, but Pollard does very well.
Use it!
De Klerk looks to chew off some distance with this one. But straight down the throat of Jordie Barrett. Barrett running it back and finding space. Oh, brilliant run from Barrett. Sends it wide. Here's Leonard Brown in and away, but a tackle, a brilliant try-saving tackle from Nkosi, puts him into touch. This is brilliant rugby.
And he's got an amazing ability to sense space, Jordie Barrett, from the back, and he just pins his ears back right from the start here. There's the gap right in the middle. Springboks failing to fill in the gaps in the chasing line, and this is a great ball out. But again, excellent defence from Nkosi to get across. Leonard Brown having a real go at the try line there.
so dangerous to the All Blacks. You invite unstructured play into the game when you put up some kicks with an inefficient kick chase. One thing you cannot do is give the All Blacks unstructured opportunity to get in behind you, break the defensive line in the middle, expose the frailty of one-on-one mismatches. All Blacks so good at creating that advantage and capitalising on it, as we see what quite possibly is a bit of gamesmanship from the Springboks in taking a knee, having run back to the line out and then needing treatment.
That's just been the message all week. The All Blacks want to speed it up. The Springboks want to slow it down. It's like watching the safety car come out every 5 minutes. And it falls for Brad Weber! An error at the line out, and the All Blacks pounce.
Try.
They were confident, the All Blacks. They were running that to halfway before the whistle went. A little conference from the ref, but Brad Weber sneaks one.
Incredible burrowing over from the little man in the 9 jersey. He's been good tonight. He's been tackling well. Surely they must have checked whether there was a knock-on at any point of that line-out. Good competing from the All Blacks.
Clearly goes back off Black.
Yep.
Scott Barrett
Just moving through to grounding.
managing to knock it back. Tim, what a way to finish the half.
Yeah,
We
so
know
it
the All
goes
Blacks are
backwards off
dangerous
the prop's arm as well.
from 30 to 40.
Backwards, yes?
Yes,
And then the grounding is good.
grounding is clear.
Everything's done at pace for the All Blacks. Even when they scored the try, they sprinted back to halfway. What a line-out win, though, from Scott Barrett to knock it back to Brad Weber. Gets this, it's only his 3rd start in an All Black jersey. Brad Weber usually comes off the bench for TJ Perenara. Still plenty of time left. Everything's done at so much pace for these All Blacks.
Right, trouble. Geordie Barrett, the clock is ticking here. Has to pull the trigger quickly here. Thumps it. Out to the left. 5 to play, 6 to play in this half. 20 points to 11.
Well, that was the man that started it, wasn't it? Geordie Barrett from the break 60 metres out. And that's what the Springboks get. If you kick too much ball away and you kick it to the back 3 of the All Blacks, they're going to make you pay.
Harvey with the clearance this time. Let's play up towards halfway. Territory stats starting to even out. Khaleesi is left on his own and has to scramble.
Early, hands on the man in the air before you sacked him.
Penalty at the line out.
Let him hit the ground before you put your hands on him. 4 and 5, both of you.
A chance before half-time here for the Springboks to get some more points on the board. A 9-point ball game.
So important that the Springboks consolidate any chance they get to remind the All Blacks of the power that they can bring to this match, the control. If they slow it down now as they enter this line out at a walk, they need to now accelerate the energy into physicality and physical dominance. Attention to detail and physical dominance work together.
They go really deep, and Sevilla wins the line out. So a bit of miscommunication there in the Springboks. Barrett has to rush the kick, and Pollard lets it bounce. And Pollard, big Gary Owen, drops just outside the 22. Blacks.
See what happens here.
This time they go high, and de Klerk is underneath it. Wrapped up, though, by Akira Ioane.
Onside.
Well, guys, even if they haven't looked on this year's form, like they can score the points to come back into this sort of a match, you never write off a Bok team, do you? I'm sure you've both been up against teams where they just can produce some superhuman feats, these guys in green.
Well, I think, Mertz, the Springboks, the outside backs just don't get enough ball to be able to show what they can do, and they kick so much ball away. And I know it's a tactic that works, and I bet you Faf de Klerk and Andre Pollard after the game have to go and put both feet in ball, but they've got to give their opportunity out wide.
Weber, Barrett, Jacobson. It's up over the 10. Weber. There's a nice little around the back pass. Saw that earlier from Lucanio Arm. Odin Barrett running out of room. Wrapped up. And over the top was Vermeulen.
No.
No.
No, that was never released. Bowden Barrett never had the chance to play that from the tackler. It's a bad call.
Faf de Klerk was latched onto him like a tick.
I may be less than objective at this point, at a crucial point in the half. Now, vindicated there.
I'm off 1, 2 and 3 green replacement.
It's interesting, isn't it? Both teams.
Wait a second, Justin Harrison. The Bomb squad are on very early here with 2 minutes to play in the first half. They've replaced the whole front row.
A sign of perhaps some malcontent with the performance of the front three, looking to get some of that physical dominance as the last match of the tour, get some energy onto the field.
Minute and a half to play, and Malcolm Marks hits his first line-out target. Inside ball to Mapimpi. Yaga. Vermeulen. And Etzebeth on as a latch. Diolende. Big run from Diolende, and they have the penalty advantage. Pops it up for Hogger Smith. It's the offload.
Penalty advantage.
This is energy from the Springboks. Diaga, his second touch.
That's fine there, but we're coming back for the advantage. Please get your arms up and grasp.
Chance for points just before half-time.
That may well be the result of replacements too. I just wondered after that line-out overthrow by Mbonambi, maybe the thought was, let's get Malcolm Marks on there. Perhaps a more accurate line-out thrower. Now, if he's going to be better scrumming with his mates Kitsoff and Koch, then better they bring them all three together. But this is what it's led to. They won the line-out. They know it's a period that the All Blacks tend to score, and they want to get a shot in as well. This could yield 3 points just from having won their own line-out.
Both teams seem to be willing to continue to play ball in hand when they get a dominant carry. As soon as they lose that momentum, they're happy to kick it away. Both teams, equal kicks in play, 15 for the Boks, 18 for New Zealand. Certainly a feature of this match is going to be patience and tactical nous.
Siren sounded for half-time. Pollard puts it down the middle, adds the 3 points. So that will be the first 40. I think everyone needs to take a drink after that one. It's New Zealand leading South Africa, 20 points to 14. Well, what a first half it was between these two great rivals. And it is New Zealand leading 20 points to 14 in the 101st test between New Zealand and South Africa. Time on for the second stanza. And already the All Blacks putting pressure on at the kickoff.
Hold on side.
Springboks
hold. That's taken in.
Yaga. After Clerk was caught at the bottom of that breakdown, so didn't have a chance to put up another meteor. And this one will leave a crater. It's that high. Barrett does well. And Geordie Barrett cuts back. Passing, but it's floated forward.
Forward out the hand. Forward out the hand.
And it was forward out of the hand, as you heard Matthew Carley explain. So, scrum to the Springboks.
He must have been close. Doesn't look forward out of the hand to me. Certainly momentum took it forward. Certainly didn't look wonderful, but already the All Blacks wanting to use that ball as much as possible. Their work rate off the ball is quite incredible. They're getting themselves back into position, getting width, backpedaling so that they can run onto the ball as players bring it back to them.
9. Don't hold it there.
I wonder when this hectic pace is going to start taking its toll, and we'll see an injection from the bench. Obviously the front rowers from South Africa have come on, but I suspect Tim Horan will be announcing some changes to keep this intensity up.
Fierce battle at scrum time. Springboks get some parity. They get the penalty advantage too. De Klerk to Dielendi. Dielendi into some space. Looking for the support player. And off the deck from Fran Steyn. Will come back for the penalty.
Number 1 when the pressure came on.
So the replacement front row for the Springboks doing the job early in this second half.
Joe Moody under all sorts of pressure there. Malcolm Marks, such a tall hooker, generating so much power as we see the Springboks here looking to accelerate the game in their own way. From a dominant set-piece performance, one thing the Springboks can't do is let this half come to them. They will need to take this game by the scruff of the neck, and they're about to start to try to do that with a set-piece line out, not far out from the All Blacks try line.
They've had the best line out in scrum in the Rugby Championship in 2021. Have the Springboks. The message was to stay on script this week. Well, the script writers are all Hollywood at the moment.
Out. 5. You said 5. Let's play.
Marks hits Diaga. Just waiting. Biding their time. Marks breaks off to the left. De Klerk on his own. Back inside to Marks. Brought down 3 out. Cbus.
Penalty advantage, 3 offside.
De Klerk back to the short side. Mapimpi running back across field. Whistle goes.
Going into the breakdown, number 3 offside.
Immense pressure that the All Blacks are under on their own line. And Tim, if you thought they were going to ease their way into the second half, clearly not the case.
No, you're right, Mertz. Really picked the pace of the game up, the Springboks. Lovely kick to touch.
South Africa.
Set him up from Andre Pollard. And the Springboks have just got this ability as world champions to quicken the game up, then pull it back. As Andre Pollard opts from his leader, Sia Khaleesi, to take 3 points while you're down here.
So in front, Pollard here. Easy one for Pollard. Brings the score to within 3. 20-17 to New Zealand.
Interesting this week from Faf de Klerk. At the moment, he hasn't kicked many balls away, only 4 or 5 in the first half, whereas last week kicked about 22 or 23 box kicks. So different tactic from the Springboks.
Shallow and contestable kickoff, which is batted back by Jacobson. So the All Blacks win it. Quagga Smith in there digging and rips it away. Cock can't bring it in. So scrum to the All Blacks. The pressure at the breakdown. Justin Harrison is immense from this Springbok team.
It does seem so simple when you contemplate that the game is all about physical dominance and winning impacts, and that the Springboks present one of the biggest teams of humans known to man in international rugby, but there is a lot of detail required. Consolidating that advantage when you get those broken field situations, making sure you don't then turn that momentum back in the All Blacks' favour there. Springboks guilty of not respecting the possession they've worked hard to get.
Water off then, guys, please. Thank you. All Black scrum. Same standard on their ball, please.
Little breather for both sides while Geordie Barrett got some attention. Excellent pressure right off the kickoff. He had to weave his way through several Springboks to get up for that ball, as we see
Time's on.
Damien McKenzie, TJ Perenara sideline. How soon will we see them get involved in the match?
Crouch! Bind! Set! Stay on side. Stay on side.
Webber digs it out. Barrett takes it to the line and flings a wide pass to Ioane. Wraparound play to Leonard Brown. Into the 22 they go. Wide ball to Retallick, who looks outside, twists and turns himself into the 22. Webber, Barrett, short to Cody Taylor. Alala pops it up off the ground. Barrett again looking, searching. Retallick right there on his hip. The counter ruck coming through from the Springboks. Webber under pressure.
Not now, step back.
All Blacks really having to weather the Springbok storm, and it's popped out and towed ahead by Retallick, and Stain unleashes from the backfield and sends a beautiful kick downfield. Play on quickly. Sevu Reece. Into touch, right up on halfway. The contest is fierce.
Important to recognise the significance of what the All Blacks have just done then. A quick line out, a kick clearance back to put the Springboks back inside their half rather than a line out working out of their half. Little momentum swings like that. Andrew Mertens, the All Blacks, so very good at controlling the tempo of the game with simple actions.
Yes, and they had a good lick at increasing that tempo right from that scrum. Clinical back play, Beauden Barrett, the pass out to Barrett from Brad Webber just enabled Barrett to get outside that scrum defence and make the defenders turn inwards, and from there he found Rieko Ioane out wide in that channel. The support from Leonard Brown, good scrambling from the box to get back, and the pressure they are putting as a counter ruck has been immense, as Sabun Nkosi also finds the sideline.
Marks finds Vermeulen. Set up the maul. All Blacks doing well so far to just stop it in its tracks.
Start using the ball. 9, use it.
De Klerk. The tumbling box kick. And Barrett calmly puts it high.
Both Franz Stain and now Elton Yankees are on the field as well. Yankees coming on for Nkosi. The All Blacks have also had to make changes. Scott Barrett's shoulder possibly succumbing at the end of that first half, and big Paddy Tuipulotu is on, and 19 for the All Blacks.
I've got to stand somewhere, please. please don't. Step in the middle. Thank you, just a metre. It's only got to be a metre from there. That's fine. That's fine. Let's play.
Marks.
Knock-on advantage.
Yeah, knocked on by Vermeulen, didn't bring it in clean, so chance to counter for the All Blacks. Mapimpi.
Just a knock-on, 2 hands up, realistic.
Thought he was in under the sticks, Makazole
If we get
Mapimpi.
a clear view, then we'll review it, but we're not stopping to check everything. Knock on.
Back for the first infringement.
On the field, we had a player with 2 hands up trying to catch that, Brett.
It's ball backwards into
Springboks
Okay,
again
no
guilty
problem. Thank you. Scrum.
of not consolidating something they've worked hard to create. Set piece opportunity there. Physical dominance is not only just about being bigger, fitter, faster and stronger, it's also about imposing yourself with detail, attention to detail, to put the mechanics of them all together. You need to make sure all those little moving parts come together in a big crescendo of human flesh, Andrew. Something I'm sure you want to be a part of.
Not only that, but I'm developing a big crescendo of human flesh myself. But great to see the All Blacks, even on defence and flat in formation. A turnover ball, they try to use it, they try to get it wide. Mapimpi had to get that because there were 3 backs lining up for the All Blacks to take it out of their territory.
Oh, the pressure in those 2 front rows. Look at it. Compressed. Villi
Oh, no, be onside, be onside.
dumps
Thank
it. Francois Steyn. Know how big his boot is. And that one is pinpoint.
Okay.
50-22. Brilliant.
50-22.
The wily veteran.
50-22. Time off. Number 5 replacement.
That's the part where the wily veteran jogs back with the assured look on his face that he meant to do it. Very good. And very clever.
He's got a huge boot. That was pinpoint accuracy and a real valuable gain, really valuable gain for the Springboks.
At the moment, the Springboks have probably made the changes earlier than the All Blacks. The All Blacks, TJ Perenar on the bench, Richie Mwanga, Damien McKenzie, not used as yet. Springboks made earlier changes.
Franco Mostert. And here comes some momentum from the Springboks. That rhino of a maul is now getting pushed sideways. De Klerk rips it out. Pollard, short ball to Dialende. Up to the 5. Marks, shirt fronted.
No hands!
Wide ball, kits off. Gets the legs pumping. And then pushed back onto his back.
Let it go now!
De Klerk. Yankees, Mapimpi's in the corner. Quick hands, momentum, and the Springboks hit the lead.
Well, that try had everything. Relentless pressure from the box. Forwards and backs combining. It all goes back to this Franz Steyn boomer. Down the field. And away they go. This is just the end of it. The hands, the timing from Yankees. Out to Mapimpi, who had plenty to say in the corner. But the hard work was done, Justin Harrison, earlier on by the forwards.
A great piece of timing. Getting the pass run option right. Back to Klerk on the ball quickly, ball available quickly. The forwards timing their move around the corner, not having to check the momentum and pace at which they were taking the ball forward. Malcolm Marks, aggressive and carrying strong. 1, 2, 3 maximum in at the breakdown means that you've got numbers somewhere else on the field if you can get the ball to them. Well executed by the Springboks.
Pollard having a fairly unhappy night with the boot, but it's the Springboks still in the lead, 22 points to 20.
What about the work, though, from Faf de Klerk? He had so many options through that phase of play. That was important, that cutout pass there to Elton Jantjies. Faf de Klerk, when he's got the ball going forward and he's got options left and right, he's one of the best nines in the game.
Varied his game so well tonight, hasn't he? A lot of talk about the number of satellites he puts into orbit.
He's been the box kick bandit for most of the tournament.
I want you to lift it, and then you lost your feet, you gave it up, so I'm happy with that, okay?
And Cbus just with some wardrobe changes, the old Lady Gaga wardrobe change.
Time still on. Time on.
And this has been an effective restart every time for the All Blacks, and it falls for Joe Moody. And the All Blacks reply now. Havili runs into Cbus. He gets wrestled to the turf, but got the offload away. Weber. Barrett shapes to kick. Finds Blackadder with the pass. And Blackadder just caught around the ankles. Again, Khaleesi trying to drive through and force that counter up. Barrett. Straight, hard carry. But the Springboks over the top. Malcolm Marks.
No, move away. Move away.
Just so effective and efficient over the ball.
Yeah, well, it's great play to get that penalty, but I've got to disagree again. Barrett's on the way forward there. He's got support immediately from Anton Leonard-Brown, contacts Malcolm Marks over the ball. He's got a release. That's a ruck. Well played, Malcolm Marks, but that's an error.
Intensity at the breakdown is something that is a real feature of any requirement for a team to be successful, particularly against the All Blacks. You get the feeling that with the change in personnel from the Springboks, the early change, they've looked to try and see that arrive at the breakdown with some extra intent, counter-rucking, moving bodies.
Cbus, Klerk, Yankees in a first receiver. He goes high, puts up a big one, and will it fall for Reese? No. Pops out the side. The Springboks have the turnover. De Klerk wants to play quickly now. Kits off. Leg drive up towards the 5.
No clear release. Penalty advantage. No clear release. Knock on there. Coming back. The 2 tacklers must come off the ball. No.
Springboks. And Sia Khaleesi has not moved. Concern for the Springbok captain.
Yeah, they are throwing themselves in with absolute commitment to box. Unfortunately, in a game of millimetres, can't afford to get it wrong. Tension around the head and neck. Khaleesi, good sign, obviously, that he's quite animated. But at the risk of sounding like a whinging Kiwi, Tim Horan, and this is the end of it. This is where Khaleesi, he got bent a little bit. Mapimpi was about 5 metres offside on that high ball going up. Fairly clear to everyone. They're playing well, the Springboks, and they're getting the rub of the green at the moment because they are going forward. They are showing physical dominance.
Yeah, you're totally right, Merch. I was just about to say that Mapimpi, it was probably 2 or 3 metres offside and was effective when the All Blacks spilt the ball. Which is just seeing Sia Khaleesi, the wonderful leader, the captain of the Springboks. He wants to get back to his feet. He's about to jump up now. A big roar here in the Gold Coast. What a leader he's been since he's been captain. He's won for the first time in about 10 years over in New Zealand against the All Blacks in 2018, then wins a Rugby World Cup, then wins a British Lions series. So desperately wants to win this match.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sid.
Lost 2 against the Wallabies and 1 against the All Blacks last week in Townsville, so he'll leave the field.
To a big applause as well, Tim Horan. So Jasper Visa replaces the Springbok skipper.
one of the things we love about live sport is the unpredictability of it. Part of that unpredictability is the allowance for human error every now and then to play a role. You can't get everything right all of the time. What a wonderful test match this is.
Marks. It's a little untidy, but Pollard steams onto it. Quick ball for de Klerk. Mostert around the corner. Same way to the big man, Visa. De Klerk, inside ball to Cogger Smith.
Ball was loose.
And the ball is loose. Mostert dives on it. They're very close, the Springboks.
That was off a green foot out of your hand to knock it on. Offside.
All right, so the Springboks win the penalty,
No.
but an opportunity
Picked it up
wasted.
and a green foot knocked it out of his hand. That's all right.
Great pressure being exerted by the Springboks. I take your point,
They
Justin
jumped and
Harrison,
then never retreated.
but when there's so much scrutiny that they're able to pick up offsides around rucks, which are inevitably pretty murky areas in terms of offside, versus right out in the middle in front of three pairs of eyes, pretty hard to reconcile that. At the same time, doesn't matter, the box at the moment controlling the tempo, controlling the physicality, controlling the territory in this game.
Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon that we're seeing here. The Springboks really enjoying some dominant, fast-paced entry and exit of contact areas, less kicks in play. Faf de Klerk learning how to path with his hands and not kick with his feet.
Yankees puts the penalty goal over, so a change in goal kicker, and it's successful. The Springboks have a 5-point buffer.
Opportunity now for the All Blacks. A couple more changes for the All Blacks. Still plenty of time left in the match. TJ Perenara comes onto the field. Great performance from Brad Weber. He'll leave the field. Still trying to find out if Richie Mwanga's going to come on. Damien McKenzie still on the sideline as well.
Talk about guys who can make impact. Those are the names you normally associate with that. Fran Stain belts a low kick towards the 22. It goes out just shy of the 22. It is a brilliant touch finder though from Fran Stain.
Rico Ioane might be lucky if he didn't get a touch on it here. Thought about the danger of the 50-22. The ball ultimately didn't go out over the 22, but he made a heck of an effort to keep it in.
Safa Almour finds his first line-out receiver. And Smith over the top, fighting for this one. And told to get out of it. And TJ Perenara, he pulls out the lob wedge. Here's Locanio arm. Great feet. Yankees look to kick, but found Pollard. Here's Dielendi. Dielendi and arm today have been simply superb. Marks.
Let it go now, both sides.
Severe.
Use it.
Need to let it go. Launches another satellite. Does Faf de Klerk. And the pressure coming through, but safely taken by the All Blacks. Perenara, Barrett, cross kick, but overcooks it. The error's just starting to creep in. Pressure is building.
Yes, you don't very often see the All Blacks in this situation where they are not in control of the tempo of the game. We've seen them down, we've seen them get out of tight spots. But probably the last time they found themselves in this sort of a situation with the other team having the front foot would have been that Rugby World Cup semi-final against England. And it's all very well talking about process and keeping a cool head, but when the heat's on, it's a different thing entirely when you're out there. And these All Blacks, they can do it, of course. They've just got to be very, very accurate.
You hear the Springbok crowd now start to get behind their men. They're starting to believe. It's been a tough old campaign for the Springboks. They're saving their best for last. 5-point leaders with a quarter to go. Pollard double teamed by Barrett and Havili.
No. The player must move away first.
Mostert just chews off a couple of extra meters, but over the top. It's superb work, and it's once again the skipper. Inspirational from Artie Severe.
Yeah, Springboks probably guilty of too much success at advancing the ball. They're close to the breakdown. They ran out of numbers that were connected to ball carrier. To your point, Andrew, earlier, most certainly the Springboks enjoying controlling the tempo of this game. Controlling the tempo with skill execution has them arriving as a real threat for this All Black side tonight.
Territory and possession all in the Springboks' favour. Blackadder finds Petanara. As Barrett cuts out. Ioane finds Havili. Kiddo Ioane. Didn't roll away. Relieving penalty for the All Blacks.
This is what the All Blacks have been up against all night. They may get that first contact in all right, but then the cavalry arrives in the form of some very big, aggressive bodies. And there's one right there, no finer example. The All Blacks in something of a rare excursion, other than kickoffs, getting up into the South African territory and South African half.
Moore goes to the back of the line out with Ioane. It's still up and now in control of Bauer. Moore.
One stop.
Now Petanara wants it. Havili. Brick wall in front of him. They want it quickly though. Petanara goes back to the short side. Moore. Winds up, pops it off the ground to Bauer. Into the 22 they go. The All Blacks starting to shift the momentum. Leonard Brown. And Tu'ungafasi. It's the offload away to Moore.
Good choice, thank you.
Playing in the tram tracks. Leonard Brown. And penalty. That one just slid up on Anton Leonard Brown.
Over the shoulder.
All Blacks, one of the things about the Springboks having introduced lion's share of the reserves into the game earlier, they've gone through that little bit of drop in momentum, possibly in combinations. The All Blacks now making some changes, starting to deliver some of their rhythm and patterns back into this game. Start arresting some of the momentum from the Springboks and turning it back against them now as they take a line out just outside the Springboks try line.
How do the All Blacks answer?
Crucial throw here. Will the Boks throw someone up to compete? Or will they just set themselves for the repulse?
Noise is deafening here at Cbus Stadium. They go to the front, but picked off. Stephen Kitsoff using all his ability to read that one. That was sensational at the front.
Use it.
Now the Gilbert label's getting a real workout, and de Klerk puts that one into touch.
I don't know about you, Mertz, but of the 43 options possibly available to the All Blacks, that was sitting at 44 in terms of choice.
The chair goes up now. Replacements for the All Blacks, as we mentioned before, Richie Mwanga, Damien McKenzie. The superstars of the All Blacks are now launched. Beauden Barrett leaves the field. There he is, Richie Mwanga. Stayed back in New Zealand for the first 3 matches. What difference can he make in the last 15 minutes? Done so much with the Crusaders over the years. What can he do for the All Blacks here with TJ Perenara at scrum half?
They need an energiser, and Richie Mo'unga can bring that. Here he is, Richie. Brilliantly defended by Elton Yankees. Pelotu with a heavy carry. Mo'unga. Kitsoff read it well again. He's reading the game really well at the moment. Stephen Kitsoff. Ball's in contest on the ground. Springboks turn it over. Herschel Yankees gives it to Elton Yankees and finds grass. Sevu Reece is back there, and Geordie Barrett unleashes to a man who has an equally huge boot. Drop goal attempt from Frans Steyn. We've seen it once before, but this one, it doesn't find any height, and Barrett was taken after the kick. He's still on the ground. Here's Yankees cutting across field.
Keep playing with look.
Herschel Yankees, Bauer in to contest, and he was there first. They missed the clean out, the Springboks.
TMO check. You're in front of the mark anyway. You're off feet. We're going to check with the TMO.
So Barrett's still on his back. We're going to have a look at it.
TMO check. What are you going to show me?
We're just having a look at the actions of the green player after he kicks the ball.
Well, for mine, there is nothing in that whatsoever.
So it doesn't make any realistic chance of charging that down.
Yeah, agree.
Just the penalty.
Francois Steyn has a fairly significant frame that he needs to try and slow down.
There,
Just coming back to you now, Matt.
Okay, so we don't think that the player is in a realistic position to charge the ball down. He can avoid that contact, and he takes the player out after the kick, so we're going to look at a penalty only.
I agree, there's low danger, which is why it's a penalty only. And the mark is up on the 10-metre line on South Africa's side.
10-metre line, opposite end of the field where the ball alighted.
Correct, and it's 15 minutes in. Yeah, correct.
Well, I'm confused here, and I think this defies common sense.
Only, but you have the option to, obviously you want to take it where the ball alighted. Yeah, that's fine.
Penalty decline. We'll go upfield.
I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. If you watch that in real time, are you expecting any time a player looks like he's going to kick or do anything, you've got to slow yourself down? And what happens if he doesn't kick it? That's frustrating. I think there's no common sense in that at all.
I think they're busy checking Frans Steyn's family history for any DNA of an airbender to be able to stop and get out of the way of that, but those are the rules. You don't change habits unless you have heavy sanctions. People can't career into people trying to kick the ball out. That is the intent. Player welfare is paramount.
I don't know what an airbender is, but I wouldn't want to say it to him right in front of me.
All right, Geordie Barrett. He nailed one last week from about this position, but on the other side of the field to win the game, and this is to put them within 2. Important kick with less than 15 to play. Drills it, brings it back. A 2-point ball game. It is South Africa still leading 25-23.
Had to take the points on that occasion, the All Blacks. Last time they got a penalty, they went for touch, lost the line out, have to come away with points. Plenty of time left for both teams.
Brown and McKenzie straightening. Springboks really trying to put the pressure on at the breakdown. Perenara. Oh, Dialendi nearly reels that one in. He thought he had it, Damien Dialendi.
Oh, here we go. Are they going to try and call this a deliberate knock on too? Oh.
Brett?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I'd just like to check the actions of 12 South Africa. First to determine whether it's a deliberate knock-on, and then to see if it's anything more than that.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to show you an angle where he's clearly not in a realistic position to regather.
So he shoots out with one hand, and then he's definitely not in a position to regather, so we then need to see if we're going to give any more than that, so we need the wide camera.
No worries. I'm going to show you the wide camera angle that shows you number 11 is outside him.
These are international
Still on
athletes.
the tight angle there.
Of course he's in a position to regather.
So you can see 11 down the bottom there.
These blokes with whistles and flags, without a doubt, they wouldn't be in a position to recover that. There's no doubt, and thank goodness we were not watching them.
Deliberate knock on because the player shoots out one hand. We're quite content that that's a penalty only.
I agree.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Damo. Okay. He goes with one hand, you must go with two. Penalty only.
All right, so relieving penalty for the All Blacks. Damien Dialendi will be the culprit. Deliberate knockdown, the ruling.
I'm trying hard to concentrate on the positivity of the rugby, but some of this is just more and more absurd with every referral. Sorry. Anyway, All Blacks line out. What will we see here?
It's a 2-point ball game. The Springboks have conceded the last 5 penalties, and they win that one at the line out. Gee, they are absolutely fantastic at the line out, putting that pressure on Justin Harrison.
Yeah, this is the DNA of the Springboks. They bring you down into the gutter and they keep you there. They shut out the light, and they really do impose themselves on you every chance they get. A confident Springbok team at set piece, at scrum and line out, is a very dangerous Springbok side.
Nice and patient, you guys. Nice and patient.
I'm just relieved they're not trying to penalise our move for throwing the ball at someone.
4 line-out steals last week for the Springboks. It's been brilliant tonight, that line-out.
Bind. Set. Gone sideways, we've got to be stationary.
You wonder, Andrew, if the Springboks are thinking about what do we do if we get to 30 seconds to go, we're coming out of our half, do we kick or do we run?
Sideways, okay? Let's go.
I'd say based on how they've gone tonight, run it. They've been very judicious in their use of kicks. And Handré Pollard, it's great to see him back to his best. We've known how talented he is since the under-20s. He's that great mix of a creator, someone with good physical presence, can hit the line hard, and he looks like he's had fun tonight.
And Vermeulen eventually comes away with it.
Hold on side.
Oh, that was a titanic battle at scrum time. Yankees peppers the All Blacks with a bit of Springbok seasoning, and here it is for Yankees. Smith, Marks. The replacements for the Springboks have really added the energy tonight. Pollard spins out of the tackle. And lost it. Held in the tackle. Blackadder trying to force the turnover, and he does. Brute strength from the All Black forwards.
Well, what a great part this is of the modern game, trying desperately to keep the ball carrier's knees from touching grass, because at that point it's a tackle and you've got to release, but they kept him up. Mauls created. Tim Horan, smart work in the tackle.
The All Blacks just know how to try and get a turnover and create one. 8.5 minutes left in the match. And whichever way this game goes, I really hope that it shows the Springbok players, but also the Springbok supporters, that they can play a bit more expansive rugby, the Springboks, and when they do it, they're very, very hard to stop. Over 20-odd thousand people here on the Gold Coast at Cbus Super Stadium, witnessing a really good contest again last week. The 100th Test match in Townsville, a sellout. Would have been a sellout crowd here tonight if it wasn't reduced by 25% because of COVID restrictions. But the Springboks have shown us they can play a different style of rugby.
Has it been reduced there, mate? I'm not sure people know their percentages up there. It looks pretty full, and good on them for coming out.
Well, there are a lot
I think they've
Kiwis
emptied
in
the
the
bar
crowd.
so far.
Oh, what a finale to a brilliant tournament. A crescendo. Here comes the drive from the Springboks, but Artie Severe breaks away. Space for the All Blacks. Reese dribbles it ahead. And who's back there but Damien Dialendi?
Onside. Use it.
Springboks suddenly find themselves on their own line.
Okay, use it.
Yankees
9.
looking to clear.
Stay here.
So back to Elton Yankees.
Hold.
Who thumps it up towards the 22. Play on quickly. All Blacks want tempo in this game. Barrett back into some traffic. Oh, Visa over the top. But Mwanga on Magic can Richie muster. Oh, McKenzie barreled by France Stain. But they gave away the penalty.
Tackler, get out. You can't
He's
play
not
with
happy. Tension on the Gold Coast. Here we go.
it. Just eyes up, eyes up.
The big bodies all coming together.
You must roll away.
Yeah, well, this always threatens to spill over, but on a night where they've thrown everything at one another,
Away.
legitimately in the play, surprised they've got the energy for this because they've been hitting one another pretty hard, as Malcolm Marks is now showing. Great hit from France Stain. You would have thought with that dominance that the Springboks on the front foot would have the advantage at that breakdown. And gee, Eben Etzebeth, wasn't friendly fire. Those two big bricks coming together, was it?
Looks like it, Andrew. Certainly, France Stain a victim of his own dominance at the break, at the tackle area there. Because he was the tackler, what he can't do is then lose his feet on the other side of the breakdown and stay there. Takes the ball.
Well, it was such a good hit that he ends up coming up with the ball and probably thought he already had possession through the tackle. That's why he held on, but doesn't ingratiate himself at all with the officials because of that.
Yep. Replacements. Please, we need to go for the blood replacements.
There is claret everywhere on the field here at the Gold Coast. Yeah. We're talking about big bodies. Patrick Tuipulotu. He loves to get involved. So do the Springboks.
Two important considerations here. Two very vital pieces of the tight forwards, Malcolm Marks and Etzebeth, being told that they need to leave the field to get blood bin treatment. This will be disruptive to the hopes of the Springboks maintaining and gaining momentum and ascendancy against this All Black side, who have most definitely lifted the tempo, as we see there.
Friendly fire, Justin Harrison.
Malcolm Marks and Etzebeth getting to know each other's hairstyle very closely. That is a big impact.
Not to mention their blood types.
Water off then, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Chalk that up for Richie Moonga.
He's got to roll from the tackle.
2 down.
Kick it goal.
So after all that, it'll be a penalty to the All Blacks. Kickable range for Geordie Barrett.
This way. Okay. All right.
Etzebeth doesn't want to leave the field, does he?
Kick it goal.
Well, none of us want him to either. He's been immense, enormous.
doctor will want to break the world record for the fastest stitches. So they want him back on the field. You get the stapler out at that point. Geordie Barrett. 5.5 to play. Big kick. The crowd tells the story here on the Gold Coast. The All Blacks with a 1-point lead. Less than 5 to play in a classic test match here on the Gold Coast. Springboks want to go quickly. Retallick, safe under the ball.
No. Timing.
Tuungafasi.
Use it.
And Wonga rushes the kick. Vermeulen. Oh, bounces off McKenzie. He's taken some treatment the last few minutes as Damien McKenzie. And then charging in is Jasper Visa, and the penalty advantage is here. Yankees snaps the drop goal. It's over. Springboks back in the lead. Elton Yankees with the drop goal.
And offside, number 4.
Great execution from the box right from the kickoff. They put the pressure on. A couple of phases, the All Blacks, as they do, tried to work their way forward to get a good clearance. Vermeulen carries back.
This is one of the great battles between these two fierce rivals. 3.5 to play now. The penalty advantage for the All Blacks.
Franco Mostert. And it's a little bit closer than what Geordie Barrett had last week. A little bit further from the end of the game. But this is his chance to shine again, Goog.
What a titanic arm wrestle this is.
No clear release.
The theatre of live sport, the greatest reality show on earth is happening in front of us. New Zealand again showing us why. In the past 27 games against the Springboks, when ahead at half-time, they have been undefeated. They are so good at counter-punching as soon as they get behind in this match.
Well, this is fitting the profile of all those statistics. The last 6 matches, 5 of them have been decided by 2 points or less between these two teams. The biggest blowout was 2019 World Cup pool match by 10 points, the All Blacks.
We are witnessing one of the all-time great test matches here. 101st between the All Blacks and the Springboks, and Geordie Barrett with a chance to take the lead. He's bringing it back around. The flags are up. All Blacks retake the lead with less than 2 to play. Ice cold from Geordie Barrett. Short kickoff from the Springboks. Didn't make the 10.
Option. Move away. Move away.
Oh, frustration from the Springboks, no doubt.
Scrum.
Well, guys, I think back to what I felt was the best game ever, 2013, between these two sides in Johannesburg. Absolutely end-to-end, full intensity, full physicality for 80-plus minutes. This match tonight has been extraordinary viewing.
And this, Andrew Mertens, is the thing front rowers dream of. A scrum, minute to go. I know you do too. 16 big men about to decide the fate of this game. One team looking to consolidate a very slim lead, the other looking to try and give themselves an opportunity to take this game away from them.
And the beneficiaries may be looking on with interest too. France Steyn, we know how big his boot is. Geordie Barrett as well, proved it time and again. They'll both be watching this scrum with interest, waiting to see if that referee's arm goes up one way or the other.
Biggest scrum of the year for both these sides.
Quarter off. One thing at a time, make
Aussie
sure we're stationary and control.
watches on, the bench watching on, hoping, praying.
Tim Horan watching on, no skin in the game. Heart rate, I imagine's been 150 plus for 80 minutes.
Eat, pray, scrum. Let's have a look.
The All Black chant goes up. And they got 60 seconds to hold this match. Springboks have been the best team on the field. Can they steal it?
The drive from the Springboks. Sevier comes away with it and runs it into the Springboks half.
Use it.
30 to play. All Blacks counting down the seconds. Springboks desperate for a crack at the ball. Vermeulen's over the top. He wins the penalty.
Off your feet.
Oh my goodness. And you know who's on the field for the Springboks? The man with one of the biggest boots in world rugby, Francois Steyn.
Well, I was about to launch into another castigation of a decision, thinking it was a ruck form, but it wasn't the call. The call was going to ground, and they're not going for the posts.
Well, he has thumped it downfield and found touch inside the 22. Backing their line out, backing their maul, backing their set piece that it's been the best all year.
And a real sign of the change of mindset of the Springbok side tonight. More intent at the breakdown, wanting to run before they kick. What a great test match this is.
Yaga brings it down. All Blacks careful not to give away any penalties here. Marks in control. Now they get the momentum.
19 is legal.
Creeping forward, creeping closer to the line.
Use it.
Yankees. Pollard. Yankees
Offside.
finds the Yaga. Penalty from in front. The whistle goes.
Offside.
The Springboks with a chance to win it after the
They
siren.
never retreated. They all stepped and they never retreated. Offside.
Hold the curtains, hold the phone, hold everything. The last time the Springboks came back to beat New Zealand when behind at half-time was 1998. Mertz, you were running around back then. You could still see your feet. This is an amazing finish.
I tell you what you can hold my microphone, I'm off. Oh, you've got to take your hats off to the Springboks tonight, the way they've played, turning around amidst immense criticism.
Elton Yankees. Flags are up. What a finale it's been. Spirit, heart, muscle. The Springboks pull off a famous win. An instant classic.
Take a bow, Springboks. All the adversity, all the challenges. Take a bow, Rugby Championship participants, from staff, officials, Even you, Mertz, you peanut.
So let's take a look at the final standings of the Rugby Championship in 2021. New Zealand will lift the trophy, but Australia and South Africa pulling off an incredible victory tonight. That is full time here at Cbus Super Stadium. It is South Africa 31, New Zealand 29.